Hey, what's going on? It is Wednesday, July 3rd, 2:39 p.m. and the market is essentially closed because I forgot that the market closed at noon today. So, that being said, we are not doing an afternoon live training because the market's closed. So, we're going to go ahead and do our midweek recap at the moment. That being said, of course, we have to go ahead and do our disclaimer. Everything you see is solely for educational purposes only, and nothing here is the opinion of Trading Options Network. It is solely my opinion. So do with it what you will. But as always, be sure to like, follow, or subscribe on your favorite social media platform to stay up to date with everything. That being said, let's go ahead and get into it. By the way, there we are. How you guys doing? How you doing today? I hope you guys had a good first half of trading this week. So, first thing I want to talk about is earnings. We just started the quarter, so we're not going to see any earnings right away for a couple weeks here. Everyone's getting things together. So we had Constellation Brands. It's a big company, but in the grand scheme of things, nothing crazy. And it's not going to move the market or anything like that. Let's see, tomorrow, even though it's 4th of July, the market's closed tomorrow, looks like we may have a couple companies reporting. Friday, nothing crazy. Monday, still nothing. We have a $1.5 billion company, but that's about it. So we really don't have any earnings coming up here for a little while. Let's see if we even have anything big. I think there was one company like Coke or something like that. That is, or Pepsi. Here we go. Pepsi was going to be next week. Delta Airlines, but that's not until next Thursday. So we literally have more than a week before any of those larger companies start reporting. JP Morgan next Friday. That's going to be interesting when all the banks. So next Friday, do we really have to worry about any earnings? Economic data. So we had some interesting numbers come out this week. We had the ISM manufacturing PMI come out. It came out a little bit cooler than expected. We had, obviously, Powell spoke on Tuesday, which we discussed in some of our live trainings. We had the JOLTS job openings, which came in higher than expected, which actually matches with today's data. The ADP non-farm employment changes came in lower than expected. Unemployment claims were higher than expected, so obviously we would expect the job openings to be a little bit higher as well. Thursday, nothing. And then Friday, we have more employment data coming out. Now, I thought today was a little bit interesting because I had made a comment on, I think it was yesterday in the afternoon during the live training, that these numbers, the ones that came out today in the red there, the ADP non-farm employment change and unemployment claims, if it was good news, that could be good for the market. And if it was bad news, that could be good for the market. So it was almost like regardless of what happened with those numbers, unless they were way out from left field, it was going to be good for the market because obviously, if those numbers are good, then that is a strengthening economy. But if those numbers are bad, that is a weakening economy. Well, a strengthening economy is going to be good for the market. But at the same time, right now, a weakening economy will also be good for the market because of what Powell's trying to do with inflation and things of that nature. So, I thought it was a pretty good day to see something green. And I even said that, I think, again, yesterday. And that's kind of what happened. So if we look at the bar here, as you can see, we gapped down ever so slightly. I mean ever so slightly from, what did we say? We closed yesterday at 549.01 and then opened today at 548.68. So, was that a 33 cent gap down? Not much when you're talking about an ETF that's $550 almost. Pardon me, got the hiccups. But then throughout the day, we kind of traded mainly sideways for the most part. And then throughout the afternoon, we kind of, or I shouldn't even say throughout the afternoon, the last couple of hours, gosh, it was such a short day. As you can see, for the first little while here, it didn't do much. But from, we'll say, 11:30 Eastern time until close, about the last hour and a half, it definitely, took a little shot up there. And then the funny thing is, at the very end of the day, it took a ride real fast. Okay, this is a 3-minute chart, so this is less than 10 minutes, where we went from the lows of 550 all the way up to the highs of almost 552. So in the course of 9 minutes, it went up $2. And again, for a $550 ETF, that doesn't sound like a lot, but for that to happen in 10 minutes, that's substantial. But then again, it sold off quite a bit of that, almost a third of that, in the last few minutes of the day. Why is that? Well, we do have the July 4th holiday tomorrow, so a lot of people could have just been trying to get their positions closed at the very end of the day, and it just caused a little bit more volatility, kind of like what we'll see on a Friday. So back to the day chart. It is interesting because we technically broke into all-time highs again. We broke 550. I don't think we did see 550 here in this day. What was that? June 20th, my wife's birthday. We did see 550 there. We've been below 550 up until today, when we hit all-time highs of 551.83. So, what does this mean for moving forward? Well, we did just go ahead and cross the 100 level of the CCI. So that typically is for the immediate future, somewhat bullish. We can very easily, look at what happened here last time it crossed over the 100 line on the CCI was June 5th. And then it just went up and 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 up all the way up until June 20th, where that CCI stayed over 100. Could we see the same thing again? Possibly. Is it possible that that doesn't happen? Of course. I can easily go back and find some times like right here and right here and right here where it did peak over 100 and then immediately went down. Now, a lot of these times it was obviously in a very bull market. So when this happened, it only went down for a couple of days and then went up, and then came down a couple of days and then went back up, and then down a couple of days and went back up. So, am I expecting this to roll over and start dying? Absolutely not. So again, I like the positions we're in. If I go ahead and pull up our account here, we are, there we go. We are officially up $63 over the course of a couple of days on a $200,000 simulated account. Now, is that fantastic? Honestly, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. We should be happy with that. We're up. We still have, I will say T-Mobile will probably end up closing this week, depending on what happens. Although, speaking of T-Mobile, I wanted to show something really quick. T-Mobile, we are $241 up. Now, granted, we did lose a little bit today, but I want to point something out really quick. So let's go ahead and pull up the chart for T-Mobile here. Boom. Maximize sell. So keep in mind, when we had opened this position, a little bit too much, and there we are. We are actually lower, the stock price itself, because we opened this position right here towards the end of the day, and we are down here now. So we actually dropped a decent amount. Nothing crazy, but we dropped from when we opened the trade, yet we are still almost $250 in the green. Why is that? Well, again, the reason I like diagonal trades is because even if the stock itself does pull back, we are more neutral to bullish in this case. So neutral to bullish will make us money. Okay, so we can actually slightly pull back, because a slight pullback is still a relatively neutral move in a stock. Now, if it was a bigger, deeper pullback, that'd be different. But a slight pullback is still a neutral move. So we lost, and look at this. These short legs of this position have been cut in half. So half of the premium that we were essentially paid for those short legs the other day, we can essentially buy them back at 35 cents, and that would be a profit. Now, of course, these also did decrease in value, but these decreased in value only 27 cents because there's more time until these expire. So the theta is not lowering the premium of our longer legs, but our short legs have been cut by 37 cents. So 37 cents versus 27 cents. So that's essentially 10 cents per. Hence why we are up about, I guess it's technically 10.5 cents. So hence why we are up 241.50. And of course, that's not also taking into account commissions and things of that nature, but nonetheless, we are up 241.50 even though the stock has pulled back, and we are technically, this is a neutral to bullish trade. Roblox is looking great. I mean, heck, we got a decent pullback yesterday, of course, after we made the trade, go figure, but again, the chart itself still looked great, so we're still up $2,100 on that trade. We're still down 105, but we made $2,100 on that trade today because, again, even though the stock did pull back when we opened this trade yesterday, and as you can see it, I mean, we actually opened it closer to the top of this, maybe, right towards that top of that upper Bollinger Band is when we opened it. So it definitely pulled back some. But then today, it went up a decent amount, still pulled back a little bit, but nonetheless, all I want to see is this to go up close to around $39 by sometime next week. That's all I need to see. That's all we need to see is to get somewhere close to $39 sometime next week, and we will like it. Obviously, this position we opened up today, and the market kind of took off there at the end of the day, so we're up $100 on that trade. And this is another one. We just want to see this one get up close to 260 sometime by the end of next week. So, or July 19th, technically, because this is a monthly. So our trades are looking good. Coming back to the market is still looking very bullish. We'll see what happens on Friday, whether or not we continue this. I mean, this is, a jump. It's no crazy exhaustion candle or anything like that. The volume wasn't insane, but we do see the CCI did just cross that 100 level, and it looks like the MACD wants to show a buy signal as well here, about to cross. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. In terms of, there we go. I just wanted to pull this up. A lot of green today. Healthcare kind of got hurt a little bit, but bottom line is there was a lot more green than there was red, and of course Tesla and Nvidia and Broadcom here, as well as Micron. It looks like a lot of these companies were very, very green today, but the Nvidia, Tesla, Broadcom, even Microsoft and Apple, while they were only up a little bit, they were still green. Amazon was down, Eli Lilly was down. But bottom line is we had a decent amount of green today, especially with those bigger companies. So, my guess, and this is only a guess, it's an educated guess, is that Friday will be another green day, but we'll see what happens on Friday. That being said, I have nothing else for you guys. I hope you, followed along with those trades. I hope your trades are looking good, and let's continue making money. You guys have a good one. See you guys on